later, but right now we head to the House where a budget debate continues. The government of the Turks and Caicos is proposing some changes which may have a bittersweet impact. The Honorable Floyd Hall spoke to WIV4 about the proposal to implement price control and to restructure licensing fees for businesses. Let's take a look. The cost of fuel surging worldwide. The cost of food also soaring all over the globe. And Turks and Caicos residents feeling more like a punch in the pocketbook. Cries from residents, headlines about food challenges, and now the comments by Deputy Premier Honorable Floyd Hall underscores the gravity of the situation.
These impacts of which I've been speaking of are not just technical or analytical in nature. They are having a real negative impact on the lives of our people here in these islands. For myself, Mr. Speaker, and I can speak for my colleagues in saying we cannot allow the situation to stand without action.
The Deputy Premier had before been reluctant to, as he put it, interfere with business pricing and ingenuity, but admits during this fiscal period, the government has decided to deal directly with social and welfare matters. He said it in his address. He said it to WIV4 one-on-one.
Yes, in essence, it is a form of price control, but it's price control that we're engaging the merchants in at the same time. We're not looking to do it unilaterally by government. And also, we expect for the merchants to be cooperative. And it's going to be on the typical bread basket items like flour, sugar, milk, rice, I guess some meat items, some cereal items, and so forth.
And while the government admits something needs to be done to streamline pricing, the Deputy Premier said this strategy has three general points: to adopt the price control practice, to understand that it is not uncommon for governments to get involved in the business of pricing, but to realize that the PNP administration is not seeking a comprehensive strategy to go beyond the current crisis and control prices across the market on all goods and services. Then there is the aim to benefit more from business development by increasing licensing fees.
We have targeted some areas, and I don't recall them right now, that we single out for Turks and Caicos Islander participation, which we have been very considerate in terms of how we increase those areas. But basically, the main issue in the business licensing is that we had a miscellaneous category where $150 was charged for the miscellaneous category, and several other licenses that fall within the $150 annual license fee. And today those businesses are very striving business, and we believe that government ought to collect a much greater amount for business licensing for those items. And so the minimum business licensing is now going to be $500 for a license.
There is also a change of heart as it relates to the $70 million expansion of the Providenciales International Airport. It includes restructuring the arrangement and increasing departure tax.
Initially, government had proposed to purchase out the joint venture partner, the private sector partner, and undertake the expansion itself. Now, because of our borrowing guidelines, which I described earlier, when we actually look and see the scope of works that needed to be undertaken, it wouldn't have been feasible for government to do it on itself. Because if government were to do that, then we will preclude us from doing other important projects in the rest of the Caicos Islands and Grand Turk and other sectors that are deserving of government's input. So we decided to go along with the joint venture partner and do a private financing initiative, which is the current structure under which the airport is under. Do a private financing initiative with some modifications to the existing structure to undertake the airport redevelopment. And in doing so, we keep the expenditure off government's balance sheet.
Naturally, all of these proposals hinge on whether the budget communication is accepted as read. Debate continues in the House of Assembly in Grand Turk.